Hello, everybody. This is Petra Lohmeyer from Nevelle, and I'm back from my little foray into Silicon Valley, which was very interesting. And I had promised that I will show you a few of the hacks that I tried before I was trained by all kinds of people, because that is not proprietary by them. And it can still help some people, especially those who think that they are being left behind in the whole AI hype and who just want to know a few tricks that maybe easy for them to implement. And all of these things I figured out myself before I started going on trainings. And we started with it last week already. So this week, one of the things that I did was figure out that AI really is really good at analyzing a lot of data. And that can save so much time. And it saved me a lot of time simply by if you have to do some marketing yourself, and some of us will have to do that when jobs are going away, that they will be their own entrepreneurs, basically. And they will have to do some marketing. Now, for starters, ChatGPT can actually produce marketing language for you, and you don't actually have to learn it yourself, which is not that easy, which I found out. And before there was ChatGPT with all this marketing language on it, I tried to learn it, and it was very successful. Let's just say it that way. But now you can do this all through ChatGPT, which is absolutely brilliant, and you don't have to analyze large amounts of data. For example, there was a book. I mean, I just used my own book and uploaded it as an ebook, and it gave me a wonderful summary for Substack, for LinkedIn, and for all kinds of different forums where I could just tell people what the book was about. And of course, I did read it and take a look that I didn't write anything that wasn't actually in the book, but it was actually very accurate. And I really, really liked how it wrote it. Also, there were videos, for example, that I wanted to introduce to people, and you can just go into YouTube like that, and then download the actually auto text that YouTube generates, and then you put it into this was a 45-minute video, and you put it into ChatGPT, and then I'll just ask it to summarize it in, I don't know, a couple of paragraphs for a Substack post, for example. And then it will ask you all these kinds of questions of should it, change the tone, or should it change it for a different platform? So this saves just so much time. I also use this for research purposes, and of course, if you have a scientific paper to do, or something for your job, you may want to double check a little bit more than I did. But a lot of times I found a lot of information that I would have otherwise needed hours to look for. And so this was the hack for today. So the real advantage of ChatGPT is that it goes through a lot of data that would and it analyzes it quite correctly. I mean, I'm in the case of my book, of course, I know that it analyzed it correctly because I wrote the book. So so I actually know what's in it, and then I read the summary, and it was really, really accurate. So I really did like that. So, and now we are getting to the win-win post for this week. This was really impressive. So this lady actually raised 15 million to stop our genes polluting water. And what did she do? Well, apparently you can use these plants that tobacco farmers have been planting to dye genes. I had no idea. They probably didn't either. And what is really exciting about this is that it's a win-win-win situation. That is exactly what we've been talking about, because she didn't do what tobacco did, large tobacco, that she advertised with tobacco in order to save the farmers, which of course doesn't help anybody else, because then smoking kills people, which we all know. But she also didn't put the farmers out of business by stopping them farming this tobacco, but she simply gave it another use. And on top of the use, on top of finding something else for them, she also made sure that all the dyes that usually go into jeans, which are apparently very, very toxic to the environment, don't need to be used anymore, because the color can actually be made from a certain type of these plants. So this was a really exciting win-win example that I thought would be interesting for people, because there's still some people out there who really don't think that win-win exists. And it obviously does. So we are giving these examples each week. So that was a very short podcast this week, but I thought I would show this to you. And the other thing that we will be doing in future, because this is AI stuff, is stuff that I've done before I started being trained and going to all kinds of courses and everything. And I don't want to take away the thunder of the people who are training me, because they wouldn't like it very much. But I also wanted to help people, so I wanted to show people something that I did before all the other training, just for people who are just starting out. I just found out that after I've done that, and that's going to be about 7 or 8 more posts, we are going to be doing something spiritual again. I was quite surprised about that too, because I didn't really see all that much interest. I did see quite a few people looking at it in the German space, but they didn't seem to be too happy about it. I got all kinds of weird comments, but maybe people just need to hear it. So I will probably go into that again. But for now, as I said, a few more AI posts for those who haven't really tried the whole thing yet. If you are a professional already, or if you want to be more advanced, then just go to the experts. I'm really just talking to people who are just in the beginning here. Okay? Alrighty, so I hope this helped you, and I will see you again next week.